Hey guys, what's going on everybody? It's Infert here. Welcome back to Wild Rift today. Just a quick guide. I'm going to show you how I play against Mundo and Kayle and some of the tips I can give. Originally I want to make this a separate video, but it'll be a very short one, so I figured just to cram them both into one. Before we start with the video, I want to remind you that this guide will be mainly focusing on Singed because I only know how to play him. And disclaimer, I'm not a top global or anything, so take this one lightly.
Mix, mix, swirl, mix.
Since we'll be only talking about how to play Singed, you guys might think that you shouldn't watch this, but trust me, if you can lane with Singed, you can lane with anyone. Now first off, let's talk about the new Mundo. It's an AD bruiser with entire kit focused on healing. He was a good pick against AP champions since he got a built-in MR, but they removed it from his start. Now he focused more on being anti-CC frontline tank. In laning phase, he will focus last hitting with his first, so as Singed, you're gonna have to manage your distance and not get hit by it. It deals percent max HP, so it'll do chunky damage the more you progress. Here ahead, you can deny CS by standing in front of the minion. This is rather useless since he could just walk up and auto it, but you know, you can always piss him off every possible chance you can get. I did say he's an anti-CC champion. That is because his passive completely nullifies all CCs applied to him, so your fling will be completely useless throughout the laning phase. I suggest you only fling if he's vulnerable to gank. He's not a mobile champion. The one time he can chase you is when he's ult active and going all in on you. As I said, he's not a very mobile champion, so he's very easy to gank once his passive pops off. For the items, you know that Brand Grievous Wound is a must. I suggest you to go Oblivion Orb rather than Bramble, because it'll be easier to proc Grievous with your gas. Going Ignite also helps if you don't want to invest in Grievous early. Also, you should keep in mind whether the Mundo goes for Sunfire or Spirit Visage. Once he got Bami's in there, his all-in potential will be dangerous, so be sure not to have your lane push all the way too much. So yeah, I think that's all the tips I can give right now. It's definitely a hard matchup, but it's not unwinnable. Just keep scaling as usual and don't get too reckless. Think of it as laning against Malphite with his first skill, with his Q. He won't die at the very first 5 minutes of the game unless he's that bad, so just keep trades clean and you're good to go. Or you could just pick Camille or Tryndamere straight up counterlane. Maybe Nasus isn't bad too. Okay, now let's get into Kayle. It's not that very hard to lane since she could just farm like usual. The only thing you should keep in mind is when she reaches level 5, she gets access to his ult, and she turns into a ranged champion and just keeps spamming autos at you. I think buying boots early isn't that bad necessarily, but other than that, there's no item that is a straight counter to Kayle. I don't know, maybe Bramble. You could just go with your normal build without having to worry much. She's also a weak laner too. She loses to Jack and Tryndamere. I think the problem with her is not his scaling. It is that Wild Rift games are much faster, so you can just go into late game form quicker. This is why they nerfed a lot of Aegis to make her more bearable, I think. Now she's not that much of a split pusher, at least not until mid or late game, so you have time to roam with ease. Yeah, I think that's all I can share for now. Let me know in the comments if you have other tips you can share. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Enjoy the rest of the video. Cheers.
You have slain an enemy. Enemy slain.
To shake or not to shake. Mix, mix, swirl, mix. It's nearly time.
under attack. Danger. Danger.
Mix.
Ally slain. Ally slain. Ally slain.
My way. Mix, swirl, mix.
Turret is under attack. Engage. Danger.
Shake on
Slain. Enemy slain. Enemy killing spree. Double kill. Enemy slain. Shut down. Ally slain. Enemy double kill. Ally slain. You have slain an enemy. You have stolen the dragon. On my way. Enemy slain.
I hear you. Mix, swirl, mix. It's nearly time. I hear
Attack the danger. Engage. Danger. On my way.
you. I hear you.
Enemy slain. Danger. Turret is under attack. Double kill. Killing spree.
Shake on the
Enemy killing spree. Shut down.
It's nearly time.
Enemy turret destroyed. Enemy slain. On my way.
Time.
Has slain the dragon. Ally slain.
My way.
You have slain an enemy. Ally slain. Enemy.
Shake on the shake.
Danger. Enemy team slain.
time. I hear.
Enemy turret destroyed. Double kill. Dominating.
You have slain an enemy.
Mix, mix. It's nearly time. On my way.
Ally slain. Double kill. Legendary.
You have slain an enemy.
The enemy team has slain the enemy. Legendary.
You have slain an enemy.
Bottom turret is under attack. Turret lost.
I hear. I hear.
Enemy turret destroyed.
Nearly time.
Ally slain. Legendary. Ally slain. Shut down. Attack vector. Attack zone.
It's nearly time. On my way.
Attack Baron.
I hear
Rampage. Attack Baron. Engage. Engage. Attack Baron. Engage. On my Engage.
Enemy slain. Enemy slain. Enemy slain.
on my way.
Double kill. Enemy slain. Ace.